From what I understand, since the JFK assassination, Hollywood is just branding whoever they don't like, the CIA, and letting the zombie apocalypse take care of it, but that can't be good for the actual CIA. For instance, Osama bin Laden is supposedly a child molester, right? Oh, he's CIA child molester? Because I have gone through the job offerings and I did not see practical comparative theologist. I think child molester would have jumped out at me. I think that we have cults that are just so overwhelmingly stupid that we don't have an intelligence function, let alone an apparatus to deal with it. I think Moses said, "To lie with a man as thou doth with a woman is an abomination." And the Philistines said, "You don't like that, do you?" And then they got together out in the devil's playground. They said, "We're really on to something here. Let's see how far this rabbit hole goes." My first blog was about the study of human intelligence. I specifically mentioned spatial reasoning and abstract mechanics. I defined it as the ability to connect two ideas accurately. Unbeknownst to myself, I had clandestine abominations out. "We'll show you intelligence." I'm like, "Read a book." They're like, "Read a book!" Like it's a challenge to their authority. So the question is, in circumvention of the law for some higher goal, if you do not acknowledge a moral impetus to stop these faggots from following their own rape victims around until they shoot up a school, why should anybody give a shit if you get spit roasted on a bayonet in the devil's playground? Cocaine was legal until the Holocaust. Since Vietnam, we can't afford white people. Did you meant to do that? I think Bill Buckley would at least entertain the possibility that Hitler harassed the Vatican with Jew skin lampshades until they gave up and made fluoride medicine. Now we're raping little boys and chasing them around until they shoot up a school to subsidize compounded toxic waste from humanity's closest natural enemies that we already paid them to take off our hands in the first place. Was Osama bin Laden Central Intelligence? Was Barack Hussein Obama revenge for Iraq? I've never committed regicide, but Islam's not a real religion. King of the what? So Oprah's over here giving away free cars and pointing the finger, and she didn't rape me. Is that a hill she wants to die on? The name of my real attacker has been reported. That should be great news to anyone laundering money through humanity's closest natural enemies against their will. Anybody who's not a card-carrying member of a terrorist organization should be pleased as punch. Sigmund Freud spent the banana wars shoving cocaine up virgins' noses by the gram with his boyfriends and went into exile just in time for a Holocaust, and now cocaine's illegal. Okay, you're not supposed to stuff anything up teenagers' noses before you fuck them because you're a doctor, right? Because while he was writing the basis for modern psychology, he would bring patients in and he'd give them a little toot and he'd charge the taxpayer double. He'd take a little toot for himself. The next thing you know, it's a party. His lab assistant's in there with a tray cutting lines. The hell does that make you feel? We were going to buy the world a Coke. That's a soda. You've heard of it? Not shove it up virgins' noses by the gram with our boyfriends and go into exile just in time for a Holocaust. Since Vietnam, we can't afford white people. Mitochondrial Eve made it so you're either a dumb Christian or not Christian enough for protection from our new owners. What excuse do the Muslims have for avoiding negotiations? Like act like they decide whether or not we're allowed to negotiate, other than, certain parties putting homos, fucking faggots, learning a secret handshake the rest of us aren't willing. The humans will not be obligated to compete with. Imagine being FBI, CIA, DHS, putting your life on the line on a daily basis for our lives, liberty, property, and the super PAC rapes 84,000 Boy Scouts.
Ha ha ha, now you'll never be president. You'll never be president now.
Not all of these other countries need to exist, Gandhi. The Central Intelligence Agency was cleared of involvement in the JFK assassination with expert procedural analysis by James W. Douglas. If that doesn't work for you, it is the year of our Lord, 2025, and the law is still delivered in Latin because only one man has ever been born perfect, and we do not anticipate a repeat performance. That's not my opinion. It's what year it is. If you don't like it, when you leaving?